Hello everyone. So today I want to show my progress on GTFS and OpenStreetMap data merger or matcher utility. That's kind of second iteration on that. Previously I had like a backend plus front end uh, thing for it, and the front end was made with the Angular, and Google dropped support for Angular, and so I've tried to rewrite it with Vue, then with Angular. So long story short, that's just a new iteration on the same tool, completely made in browser. I'm not sure yet that it's a right approach. I didn't test that on like a really big data sets, but anyway, want to show the progress on my local data. And so first of all, open the downloaded GTFS dump. Then query query the OpenStreetMap data. So my idea behind this tool is that first of all I want to figure out how to match the stops, not the whole like routes yet. And in OpenStreetMap, it almost feels like the routes relations gives the higher priority to the geometry, to the stretches of highways or like railways or whatever ways, to the route relations, not the stops. And for me, like I feel like the matching the stops with the GTFS data is much more like practical approach, because for instance, if I have uh, the like the good way to match between GTFS stops data and the OpenStreetMap stops data. I kind of don't care about the relations for routes, or at least they are not so critical because I can get the GTFS data and do the timetables and the live updates on the bus stop positions or real-time bus position based on the GTFS data. So first of all, I want to match these stops, and the second step for me would be creating the stops relations or route relations. But in the first iteration, just caring about adding the stops into the relations, not the whole thing. So that's I treat the stop like exact match only if it has some ref tag, and for different regions, OpenStreetMap might use a different tag to save that data. In Bedford or in Halifax, that's the town I live in. We use ref, so that might also be like GTFS ref for like some other regions, or let's say an operator name GTFS ref, so something like GTFS HFX transit ref. That's what I would use, but here we have like a statistics, how many objects have the ref tag or route ref or local ref, and yeah, it's quite obvious that most of these stubs here use the ref tag. So let's run the match. So let's go about color coding. The red stubs, so the blue one is that the kind of the exact match. That's the GTFS stop code has the same code which we have in the tag which we specify before matching the stuff, and you can change it, like, okay, let's say we want to try and match stubs with the different GTFS code in mind, and yeah, it's quite obvious nothing is matched. And yeah, so I'll get back and change it. Okay, so what's the color scheme? The blue one is that we have a match. The red one is that means that we have a GTFS stop, the stop in the GTFS data, but we don't have data in OpenStreetMap. And the second thing, the second possibility is like stops like this. That means that we have a stop which exists in OpenStreetMap data but doesn't exist in the GTFS data. And one more sort of corner case is when we have a stop in GTFS data, we don't have a match in OpenStreetMap data, but that's kind of an empty stop. That's the GTFS stop which doesn't have any route or trip associated with it. So they are sort of unmatched, but I guess we can just ignore it, especially for now. That's still kind of under construction. So first of all, let's say I want to delete some of the stops, and let's I want to keep only stops which are exist in in OpenStreetMap data but doesn't exist in GTFS data. And I want to start the JSON. And I want to open all of the listed in JSON Okay, here is my two stops. They do not exist anymore in the reality. These I like check with like I check that in reality. Where is that a file? I want to download, yes, parents, and just to be sure that I don't cause any problems with deleting them. Yes, delete, upload. Source will be data and survey. But this part is kinda meh. I mean, it's if I can just open the stuff in JOSM, this isn't like really interesting, I would say. So show only unmatched GTFS. So let's try and add some. So here is one, and I want to see how the route goes through the stops, because it's not always clear which part of the highway the stop should be on. And if I show the how the route goes, I can see that, okay, this stop is on the right side of the highway, or like south side. Let me take another one. Yeah, so for these stops it's more or less obvious which side should it be on. But yeah, this one, okay, it also match. Let's, yeah, so this one would be a good example. You can see that the bus actually going that way, and this bus stop is just on the wrong side of the road. Maybe not. Anyway, this thing is just to help you to get which side of the highway you should put the stop. And let's go to the previous one, the one I wanted to add. This one, show it please. And so assign doesn't, I think I didn't implement this button yet, but the create is working, and so we can put it where we want. I would like to change the name, but again, it was working in the previous version. I didn't implement it yet here, but yeah, that how the creation of a new one works. Let's get it. So we created a new one, and let's take a look. Here we have another one. Let's check which side of the road it should be on here. Okay, create. Yeah, it's pretty much where it should be. Okay, let's go. And let's try. Where do we have like lots of unmapped bus stops here? I guess I will like map them later. For now, I just want to show how that works. So GTFS changes should be in download. Yeah, later I will just open it via JOSM remote. So here's our first one. I will change the name. I love this format a bit more. And this one. Upload. So GTFS data and survey. Just a note on like getting your sources. These two, I put the survey because yes, I check them manually. I've been on those like places and I know that yes, they are exist. I guess you can be not so picky about like surveying that okay, the bus stop really exists in the reality. GTFS data for our region is pretty accurate, but if you didn't like do that, you didn't check that it exists like by foot, just please don't put this survey. Bam. Okay, now we have two stops. I guess we can wait like for about I think for about a minute before the data on the overpass will be updated, and check that we have our two new shiny stops. Yeah, let's try it. Okay, and we have it. So first of all, there is no those two stops anymore. I really should delete these two as well. And this stop now is here, and yep. and another one, yeah, and this one also here, it's also the newly created. So that's the short demo. Okay, here we have duplicates 2196 and 2196. Okay, this thing is 2190, 2190. Okay, that looks like a duplicate inside JOSM, inside OpenStreetMap data. Let me just take a look. Or I guess I will take a look off camera. Yeah, so that's my progress so far.